Welcome back to another episode of Democracy 4. I'm Kareem Clemens. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for following me. Right here, right now, this is another episode. So, as I explained to you guys in the last episode, I was saying that it has to get worse before it gets better. I told you guys that I'm going to be using the guide to first 10 terms, which I will explain to you throughout the episodes on how that works and what it's going to do as far as dealing with prison overcrowding, antisocial behavior, and alcohol abuse. Now, I can tell you that when I looked at the dispensary income, I was trying to understand the disposable income, such as the original income of people from the poor to the wealthy, and the disposable income from the poor to wealthy, as you guys can see, that changes. Okay. Then I wanted to learn about the focus group and understand what each and every citizen in a focus group has to say, why their approval rate is good, as we can see here, and we have approval rate bad. So I was looking at this and I was like trying to understand. I was looking at some videos. So hopefully, if anybody knows how to deal with this more more like intense, or have like a breakdown on how they come to understand the focus group, let me know. Okay, but I'm gonna like show you what I learned, and if it's different from what people are saying, then let me know. Okay, so what I was looking at, so we already know that anything that's red is gonna be bad, anything that's green is good. Okay, so um let's go to the disposable income. Now, if you go to the original one, right, and you come to, because everybody who's here is going to be in the focus group. Okay, that's one thing that I found out. Okay, anybody that's over here in this, like all this, as the information we're showing and we're pressing, anybody that's over here is going to be in a focus group. Okay, so Julia Long, we definitely know that this is everything that she's working with, whether or not she's paying good or whether or not she's paying into something, and whether or not she's receiving something. So this is what I've learned so far. Okay. Now, if you come to the focus group and you see the approval, and then you come back to disposable income, what I've also learned, like if you see, she has a lot of benefits. Like she has middle income, which is the 100% middle income, which I realize that they're not paying anything, and we're show that. I can tell you that she's in the farmers membership, which is actually agricultural subsidized, which she's receiving. She's receiving money for biofuel subsidized and also food stamps and state housing, as well as health tax credit, and she's getting disability benefits, social care, state pension, and private pensions. Okay, so if you come back to her, you will see that her approval is cool, slightly happy, and her loyalty is 68%. But I also realized that if you was to like decrease or increase any of these things, so if you was to increase, if you was to increase anything that's in green, she will continue to have a approval rate. Maybe the approval rate might go higher. However, if you was to increase anything in red, then I'm thinking that anything of her approval rate will start to drop down, and this will become red, because she'll start to get angry, because you're now messing with her disposable income that she has to give out, which we can see here: food prices, private health care, private schools, income, property tax, sale tax. Now, again, if you was to increase anything in green, that would be, she would be happy. Now, let's look at somebody like poor, right, versus somebody who's wealthy in the original income. So let's look at Paul. So Paul, he's moderately satisfied, and his laurel is 74%. But then what I've learned, right, what I've learned here, everything was different than what we've seen on the other citizen, right? Everybody's different because some people could be in a range of poor and then middle class and then wealthy. So let's look at Hernandez versus who we just seen. So religious, remember, he's 55, so he was like around the same as the last citizen, right? Faith, school subsidized, which he's not really getting that much, but he's getting it because anything green is what they get. Free school meals. Okay, so it says a poor 100% membership, free school meals, minimum wage, unemployment benefits, child benefits, food stamps, state housing, and then membership for armed police, military spending, state health service, and state schools, right? So again, Paul Hernandez, he's moderately satisfied, and his loyalty is 74%, and his approval rate is 55.16%. Now, that's what I've learned so far about the focus group and this tab together. Let's look at somebody who is wealthy. Jessica Cox. Her approval rate, I'm so happy it was low because I was like, I wanted to see if anybody's, I hope they give me somebody that is low so I can see versus somebody that I last seen, it was like approval 2 times. So let's see what's Jessica Cox's problem. Okay, she's unhappy. She's not part of any party membership, and her loyalty is 24%, so it's really low, and her approval is 37.92%. So let's look at her. She's wealthy. You know, she has a drink in her hand. She's ready. Okay, let's see what she's given. Disposable income well over 170K. She's membership, capital gains, and corporate taxes. That's what she's pissed off about. Okay, because it's probably too high. Okay, the wealthy with 100% membership, private health care, and also private schools. High. She's probably pissed off about that as well. She's getting charity tax relief, and she's getting health tax credit, and she's getting quantity easing, which is probably the most that's paying her right now. That's above 11K. And the GDP, the gross domestic product. Okay, so she's mad because sales taxes, property taxes, inheritance taxes, income taxes, private school, private health care, corporate, and capital gains is the reason why Miss Cox is not happy with the government. Okay, because she feels that some things in her favor, right, green should be increased and red should be decreased. That's why she's angry. Okay, and last but not least, let's see who else is on the wealthy side that we can see. Okay, so Antonio Parker, is he happy or sad? Okay, so he's very slightly unhappy. Okay, his loyalty is 22%, and let's see what his problem is. Making well over 170K, and again, he's receiving charity tax relief, health tax credit, quantity easing, GDP. He's also a membership of the armed police, something what we just seen prior to the first citizen, right? Military spending, state health service, and state schools. Now, he's mad, pissed off completely because he has to pay higher costs in private health care, private schools, capital gains, corporate taxes, income taxes, inheritance taxes, property taxes. And trust me, by the end of this season, we're definitely going to have more taxes than we could ever imagine. And he's definitely going to be pissed if he doesn't work out what his 170K is going to be disposed on in his life. So he might change some things throughout the terms. Things might happen. Who knows? Sales taxes, car taxes, petrol taxes, speed cameras, oil price, and police force. So again, this is what I've learned on the focus group versus disposable income and the disposable income and original income. Now, guys, I'm still trying to learn what the influence and the opinion is. Now, I've went on Steam Workshop and I've learned to sit down and take about 20 minutes, 30 minutes time to listen to the developer speak about this. Now, since we are way past the time that he had already made that video, things has changed in the game. So I was trying to understand some things, but then as I was understanding certain things, I was seeing here I would say that anything red again is bad, anything green. So we can see that let's see, there's nobody here. Funding, bad. Perception, it's okay. Motorist, I think this is what he's like. I think he was saying like part of being a part of, but I'm not gonna do that right now. So I'm gonna still learn about majority of these people and what this influence and opinion really is and what it really means. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start implementing the guide for the first terms for American here on Democracy 4. Okay, so we're going to start to do that right here. Okay, at this time, I am going to start the 10 term for the United States to see if this works. I did say that I wanted to do it. It's where we implement services into the game and we will see if it will work for the American people. All right, our goal is to turn our deficit into a surplus and to get, I would say we should be receiving more than what we're spending, but let's go ahead and do this. So first term will be community policing, police force, private prisons, and this is supposed to deal with prison overcrowding, antisocial behavior, and alcohol abuse. Okay, so let's go ahead and find it through here. All right, so we have to get this, and then we go here, and then we have to max this out. Okay, so this is what's going to be body cameras, liberal, and antisocial behavior, alcohol abuse, and drug addiction. Okay, apply. Right. Next would be the police force. All right. Right here. And then we're going to max this out. It takes 4 to do that. Okay. And then next would be private prisons. Okay. And then we're going to max this out. Okay, and as we can see, prison overcrowding and capitalists and conservatives and liberal. All right, let's go ahead and do it. 8. So we have 8, and then it says save, and then this is at the time when we're going to go ahead to the next term. Okay. Also, too, they're saying that prison overcrowding is what we're going to deal with, antisocial behavior, alcohol abuse, cracking down on crime. Now will also help avoid the easing trigger drug addiction situation. And now we're going to go ahead and deal with term 2. Okay. And in term 2, we're going to be dealing with military spending. So here we can see the quarterly report is a summary of the current state of the nations as a report by various ministers' department. And as we can see, GDP, unemployment, we see the arrow going down, health. I think this is coming out of the red, going into the green. I think this is going into the green. We can see poverty. Well, no, this is going down because if it was green, it would be like that. And crime. All right, so here we can see that there's a reasonable force law. This is an urgent policy question that requires immediate attention. The government is currently running on a budget of a deficit of $62 billion, and we should take steps in reducing that. This is the economy forecast. Here's the security briefing because, well, I don't have security briefing on. Here's a message from one of my ministers saying that our data is showing that we are having a potential bad situation and food crisis on our hands, and if we do not act soon, this is the polls and also the cabinet members. Okay. All right. So now we have 30 political capitals. Okay. And I can see now that we cannot move forward to the next term until we answer this right here, okay? And guys, moving forward, whatever decision is made in this part right here, sometimes it may not be, sometimes it may be. Whatever one it is what it is, okay? I can tell you that when we answer the questions and then we show what it show, it is what it is. If it says I'm more leaning to a conservative, let it a liberal, or more like capitalist, and not a poor leader and a strong leader. Whatever it is what it is. Okay? I don't know. I'm just choosing. I never heard about it. This is the first time I'm hearing about it here in the game. A recent court case where a ruined man shot and killed a teenage burglar in his own home has thrown a spotlight on the law regarding the reasonable force when defending property, given that the homeowner was prosecuted for manslaughter. So tighten definition of reasonable force, expand definition of reasonable force, or unquestioned right to defend property. I'm just going to say tighten because, look, somebody was breaking into this man's house. This man had the right to open and bear arms. This is where it comes in, where stand your ground is. And then, you have some states that have laws where if anybody comes into your property, you have the right to shoot and protect. So in this case, I'm just going to say tighten definition of reasonable force. And it is what it is. I'm just going to keep it like that. Okay? Keep it gully. All right. Next, I'm going to see what the economy forecast is saying. As you can see, the income has gone up. We still have a credit rating of AAA. And again, going to get worse before it gets better. And our part is to get out of a deficit and turn it into a surplus. Now, the next term says military spending. Okay, so it wants us to go to military spending, and it's saying minimize it. So right now we can see that military spending is monitoring well-equipped military can cost absolutely a fortune, and many people feel that the money could be spent elsewhere. Other, especially patriots, will argue that you cannot put a price on freedom and security, and also point out the huge benefits for our businesses, technology, and employment figures. So, guys, it's saying do a minimum. So I'm thinking, what's a minimum? Because we have from reserves. What's that? No, we don't want to put it all the way down. No light defense. Let's put it like right here. Well trained. Or we can do like right here. Well trained, highly trained, because we don't want our army going down because it's not like light defense. And that's, look at the money, 170. So it's gonna go from 146 billion all the way down to, see, that just took me down to like 20. It was 11, right? So let's do 11. Okay, so global influence, state employees and patrons is not going to be happy. Hold on. Yeah, they're not going to be happy at all. Like I said in the beginning, I said that we're going to have to fluctuate, things are going to change, and we're going to have to do what it does. We can't help everybody across the board. So, but we're going to save money. And even if we could bring this down just a little bit again, like right here. Okay. Hold on, let me see something. That's 130. Okay, let's do that. All right. That's going to be 11. All right. And then we have to do what is called health. Now we trying this out, right? This will be health food subsidized. Right there. Okay, so this is a policy, tax policy that's being implemented into the game. And here it says a tax incentive that will make healthy foods such as fruit and vegetables cheaper than the higher fat or higher sugar foods. See, incentives to eat well rather than punish for eating bad, and thus less punitive on the poor than a fat tax. So I can tell you that they're saying here, eliminating your military spending earned ensures budget surplus by the end of 10 terms without the end to majority raises taxes. So that actually saved huge results on the fact that we did not raise taxes for American citizens. This health food society began to bring down obesity levels sharply, and definitely will help. Potential cost is between 162 million and 1.49 billion. But again, health up, plant-based diets up, food prices down. Let's go ahead and implement this and max it out, which is going to be 1.4 billion for us. And we can see here and what it's going to do. So, right there. All right, so let's go ahead to the next term. And there's nothing for us to answer. We do want to see where they did say that, you know, our data showing that we have a potential bad situation, a food crisis on our hands. But look, man, we got to fix it. Okay? Got to fix it. And also, last but not least, the security intelligence briefing, we're not really following this because we turned the assassination off. So it is what it is. So we don't really have to spend too much political capitals in this, because we have well-protected Secret Service. Secret Service is well protecting us. And yes, so if anybody want to try to mess with us while we're in public, Secret Service will take heed and they will light that ass up. Yeah. All right. So let me just announce this before we get into the quarter report. Note on taxes. After we just had saved huge thank you to military spending and bringing it down, because if we literally would have increased taxes, everybody would have been pissed. So raising taxes, especially income and corporate taxes, can cause a major headache because it can take your popularity to easily snowball into the red. Tax evasion situation, and the first 10 terms is only taxes. We'll consider raising will be, okay, a net positive benefit. So they say in the future, which I do have this down somewhere, they are saying in the future, plastic taxes can bring in about 31 billion. Packaging taxes can bring about 26 billion. Would strengthen the environment with a minimum of GDP impact. So the only tax that they suggest raising in the first 10 terms will be raised in the next 3. So we have done that. Right here, I can tell you that we are